Good afternoon. I thought I would actually bring you through and do an empty apartment tour now that I'm moving out of my space, which has been my home for the last 2 years. And I think a couple of you may have guessed the area because it is a little bit hard to not show things out the window and try and maintain a little bit of privacy. So I'm happy that I can completely share that with you now that I've fully moved out. So I thought let's do a little apartment tour and I can show you what you'll get for $500 a week in Melbourne, but I will put a little caveat that when I first rented this apartment, it was $450 a week, and that was a slight upgrade from my previous place, which was more of a studio apartment. And then when I got this one, it's a 1-bedroom apartment, so it's 1 bed, 1 bath, a European laundry, and the bedroom is actually properly in a bedroom, like with a door, whereas my previous place was just all kind of in the one unit. So now they've raised the rent. Well, when I was here, they raised it to $470, and then now they've re-rented it out for $500 a week. So that just goes to show you how crazy the cost of living is in Australia, but also in Melbourne, because this is, like I said, just a 1-bedroom apartment and it is in a fantastic location. But for me, it was just getting to be a little bit too small. So let's do the tour. So as you walk through the front door, that is my bedroom just there, and it will be quite funny showing any of my long-term subscribers this because it might help you get a little bit of a better idea of how creative I was being with some of the backgrounds. But this is the bedroom. It has a beautiful corner window and it kind of looks out onto all of these magnificent old terrace houses and little cottages and things down below. And the area is Windsor. So this is just off Chapel Street in Melbourne. It's an excellent area and those are just such a beautiful lookout in that direction. But unfortunately, one of the major reasons why I'm moving is the construction site that you can see down below, because the noise from that has just been absolutely intense, not to mention the dust all over my balcony. So it was really just time to go, and I did move, a few days ago in with my partner. So on to the next chapter for me, but that was a really beautiful view to wake up to in the morning. And then as you turn around, that is the front door back there. And this was my sliding wardrobe. So it is a pretty generous sized room. I managed to fit my queen bed and bedside table and sort of bedside drawers and things like that. And this wardrobe is definitely on the small side for a girl because, as you know, we all have way too many clothes. So it did come with a shelf and a hanging rail up there and another double hanging rail down the bottom here. So you do get a bit of storage room once you kind of get into the wardrobe. And I think that that's kind of better than having a shelving unit, because sometimes, you know, they come with that built-in shelving unit here kind of, and that's just not really ideal when you're already short on space. So that is the main bedroom. Then if you head back out in this direction, this is my kitchen. So again, a lot of you will have seen this in so many of my blogs, but probably never typically from this angle. So I had my dining table here at the end of the bench, and that's why I got a glass dining table. And it's one of my biggest tips to people when you're furnishing a rental. If it is small, try and go for glass coffee tables or a glass dining table, because even though they're harder to clean, it really will make your space feel bigger. This also has a black mesh front, and personally, if I designed this place, I would have just made it all white to try and make it feel bigger. But it is a really beautiful kitchen. So you've got the island bench, the back bench, bit of storage up the top here, and then this was the fridge alcove and actually a very generous sized pantry. You don't often get a big pantry like this in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I was really stoked with this. It could almost double as a linen cupboard, but I actually had my microwave on this middle shelf here, and then I had a whole bunch of other things stored on these lower shelves down below. So that gave me a bunch of space, not to mention the additional cupboards up above here for extra storage, which are the push to open ones. And that was just great having all of that extra space in the kitchen, because yet again, you can never have enough storage. And then heading over to the kitchen, it has a beautiful stone splashback, and then this would have been basically Caesar stone type finishes, but you're not allowed to use these anymore because they had the silica content. So there's quite a little different way to do that now in apartments and homes. But yeah, it had a lovely white little oven here, which was excellent, and all of my cutlery drawers and things on this side. I ended up putting up a paper towel holder at the end of the cupboards here, and Then I have my sink and the dishwasher here as well. So all of this was pretty big for a 1-bedroom apartment. Ironically, the 3-bedroom house I've moved to has a much smaller dishwasher than that, which is pretty annoying considering how large it is. And then if you open this, it even had a little built-in bin system. So even though I haven't ended up using that while I was here, I actually did still have a full-size bin because that is my preference. It was very handy. And then if I turn around, this is the view out the balcony. So this was my living area. I had some artwork up on this wall here, and then I had my TV and also my study desk over on this wall, and I had a lot of room for all of that. But as you can see, it's a pretty large balcony as well for this apartment, and it did allow me to put my clothesline out there, seats. I also had a little box in that corner next to the air conditioning unit, and that had some of my gym equipment in it. And previously, like I said, before having that construction out there, it was a much nicer view, and you are also looking in winter. So majority of that, which you can kind of see over the back there, all of those are deciduous trees, which have just lost their leaves, but it was normally a really beautiful green canopy to look out onto. I should also mention while I'm here, there aren't any amenities in the building. So my car is parked on a stacker car space, which is a Klaus car stacker, and it's a shuffle stacker system, which if you've never seen them, they are quite intense. I will try and pop a picture on screen here to show you just exactly what that looks like. But basically there is a car space, which is great. I would never rent an apartment without one because I do have a car, and trying to find street parking, even in the permitted areas in Melbourne, is really difficult. So if you're moving here and you're unsure, I would always say preference an apartment or a house where you can actually get a legitimate car space, because it will just save you so many headaches, especially in winter or if it's a rainy day, just knowing that you've got somewhere to put your car. This also came with a storage cage, and that was in B2, which is the other basement level under the building, and I used to call it the creepy storage area because it really freaked me out going down there, but it was absolutely fantastic having that extra storage, and it was a pretty generous cage as well. I had all of my suitcases, my skis, a couple of things like that down there, and I never had any problems. It was super safe, and that was also another good feature. But other than that, there are no amenities to this building. So in my old building, it did have some extra things like a pool and a sauna and a little gym, but this one is just a smaller building. It's only 6 stories high, so it didn't really have any extra additional amenities, but you literally are in an incredible location. So anytime you want to use that stuff, you can just go out and about. Back to the kitchen, the island bench also had a ton of storage. There is 3 different compartments on this that all open up and let you put bits and pieces in them. Turn around, this is the switchboard and the intercom, and then heading into the bathroom and laundry. Again, it's all pretty white and modern, so even though this building is probably coming up to around 4 or 5 years old, it still looks really new, which is absolutely lovely. I really liked styling things on these shelves, although I do wish there was another shelf because the top one was a little bit wasted. And then this is my shower, so exhaust fan above and lovely shower there. These are just fake terrazzo look tiles, and had a little shower shelf, and then down in this area I had the toilet, but that is very tight in that corner there, so I'm happy to not have to use that anymore. I had this beautiful inbuilt stone basin, which was great, and then behind this door is the European laundry. So if you pull open this little bifold slider, that reveals the laundry space here. So it was a pretty decent area, and it was enough to get in my washing machine. You could have also stacked a dryer on top, and then I also had a couple of little storage units and things off to the side here as well. So that is pretty much the apartment, and like I said, it was absolutely fantastic for the time that I was here. It's a very decent size for what you'd normally get for a 1-bedroom. So I definitely understand why, with the modern finishes and fixtures, the air conditioning, all of the location, that you can just walk out and have Chapel Street on your door, that it did rent for what it did. So that's it for my apartment tour. I hope that helped answer some questions and sort of show you what you can get at the moment in 2024 for $500 in the Windsor, basically 10 minutes inner city area in Melbourne, Australia. So thanks so much for watching, and make sure you are subscribed and give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.